Well, and you know that they do tend to go between cars while the cars are moving.
I know, dude.
They don't mind using that that portal, that in between.
I know.
The portal to the upside. That's a portal. Yeah. you go out, you get off your car while the car's moving, and you go in between cars. You don't know what's out there. Have you ever been out there?
Dude, I know. I have.
Have you ever been in between
Have
cars?
you never?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's a little fucked up.
Oh boy, it's bad.
You're just kind of like
you're in the outdoors.
Dude, you're like Indiana Jones, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
God damn it, short round.
Why did it have to be snakes?
Welcome back to Oops the Podcast.
All right, lots to unpack here.
I got something for you.
Please. Julio, I don't know where you came up with that idea.
Dude, this guy was a huge turkey.
What is this, Japan? Which is
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I hadn't told you about it.
No, and I also just assumed you were saving it for the pod if you were going to tell me,
Yeah.
which of course you were.
Oh,
But-
yeah. Good morning, friends, amigos, amis, des amis. We are Oops the Podcast. Julio,
There he is.
that's an amigo.
Hello.
How are you? I'm saying amigo because you were talking about the Migos before we began.
Wow. Interesting.
I asked
That's
Julio,
very
I asked Julio if you had to look up the lyrics when you listen to some of these songs, because I can't decipher what they're saying. And by the way, if that's a troubling thing to say, I apologize.
I don't think it is.
I don't
think
either.
that's- I think that's fair.
Yeah, I find it very, I don't know, it's cool, but it's not particularly easy to tell what's being said.
Okay, but like you have to like rewind it and say it and like look again or something.
I'm not rewinding.
Like
that.
what about like for example, like do you understand this? Like got a little bit that came out from London. She's shopping in London and doing it big.
Okay, this is a fun game. Can you give
That's
it to
a
me
real lyric.
Can you give it to me one more time?
Wait now, like you ever repeat something and oh yeah. Sorry, I was like, wait, what was it? Okay, got a little bit that came out from London. She's shopping in London and doing it big.
Got a little bitch that came up from nothing. She's shopping in London and doing it big.
Yeah.
Is it bitch? Got
Yeah.
a little bitch?
I believe so.
Should we do lifestyle?
Oh, like yeah, you can play it.
Oh, that's from that song?
You Chris sing it.
No. Let's sing. You go. And then
I don't. I can't.
Right, never mind. I don't want to.
Okay, that's fair. There is a part on the song where he just goes. That's not intended to be deciphered.
Is that scat?
It's some modern
scapping?
iteration of scat.
Scat? Is scat the right word?
Skibbity bee bop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now that I say it, scat's also another word for poop.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that I never made that connection.
It's all right. It's early. You know.
You ever listen to a really good scatter?
Yeah. I don't find it that cool, dude. It's sort of like a really good, freestyler. It's like
Yeah.
cool, a good freestyle, dude.
But back in the day, when there was a really good person at scatting, you might not be able to tell the difference between them and, say, a trumpeter playing the instrument. Yeah, there are people who had voices that were so adept at imitating the sounds of the brass section that you couldn't tell, and I think that's pretty talented.
Yeah, it may be talented, but like if somebody was like, dude, you want to see me scat? And then they started doing it, I'd be like, cool, dude.
Yeah, now
Nice.
a little bit of an outdated art form,
Right.
maybe.
Dude, I still think, I was wondering this the other night, do the boys still get together and freestyle? Or is that just a thing of a past era?
Gosh, that's a good question, man.
Because to me, it feels dated, and I can't tell if that's just me being old or if it's actually no longer a thing.
I wonder so much about what's happening with the kids these days. And you really do have the best vantage point for all of us. You're our way in.
I don't know that that's necessarily true.
Well, you're having lunch with them and stuff
Really?
over at the Amazon store. You're going on lunch
that.
dates with these kids.
I forgot about that. Dude, I get so stressed out about being a dinosaur. Like just doing some like old person shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like remember that scene in 21 Jump Street where like they try to like bully the kid and they're like, dude, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
but
oh,
I think bullying is alive and well. Unfortunately, get this. Yesterday I was on the subway, and 3 kids came on, and they were probably not the most mischief-making triplet. They weren't hell bent on destruction.
But were they like?
Yes, yeah, they
Dude,
were.
I fucking hate that.
They were
more than
operating at a level of energy that was so out of sync with the rest of the train, and it's in a way it's almost as disruptive as if like a homeless person comes on and starts yelling at
anything.
everyone.
Oh God, dude.
Because they're throwing their limbs all over the place. They're
Dude,
a bunch
they're
of
flailing.
they're Tasmanian devils. Just
Dude, it's so shitty.
they just
dude.
drank like 3 Capri Suns. The energy and sugars coursing through their veins. Now there was only one seat available, and it was next to this elderly Asian couple that was very calm, and the wife was sitting next to the open seat next to her elderly husband, and one of the kids sat down on the seat, and then another one sat on his lap and leaned back and was kind of just goofing around. And
this is sort of a twist I didn't expect.
they're kind of like they're like squirming. They're like,
but he was straddling,
he's
like he was laying back, putting his arm around his neck, like
no, it
reverse
wasn't,
cowboy.
It wasn't romantic. No, it wasn't. It wasn't tender. It was roughhousing. The house was rough, and he's like adjusting his arms, and the woman's getting bumped and jostled.
Oh, God.
And I just saw this look of pain in her eyes, and she quietly tapped her husband's thigh and went like that, and the two of them got up and just got off the train. And I'm pretty confident it wasn't their stop.
Do you think they got on another car?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I didn't follow them out. But here's what was really telling to me was that the kid that was sitting down on the other kid's lap and just sort of pancaking him, he goes, "Is this gay? Is this gay?"
Oh, he did. Okay.
And he said that. And that's what made me realize, oh, they are still making the same jokes and the same humor that we used to do when we were kids and we didn't know any better.
It sounds like that kid wants it to be secretly.
Oh.
He's like, "Oh, is this gay?"
Yeah.
As he like rides him.
What a Freudian analysis from you. That's nice.
Let me ask you this. Do you ever get off and switch to another car?
I have done.
When you do it, I know that when I do that, I try to do it like secretly.
You do?
I'm afraid that if the person sees me, they're going to retaliate.
Oh my gosh. So do you run to 2 cars down?
No, no. So there just like typically isn't enough time. So I'll exit straight out as if I'm going to just keep going that direction. And I kind of like.
You hide behind a pillar and then
I subtly pivot.
Jump on at the last second as the doors are closing.
1 or 2 larger steps so as to get in the direction I want to go faster. And then I get on the other car and I look back to see if they notice.
Oh, I love the idea of Julio being so attentive to a crazy person's feelings that he walks off the train and he's like looking at his watch like, "Oh no, I'm going to be late for my meeting." And then he just quickly doubles back furtively.
Oh.
Yeah. "Oh no, I've gotten off too soon."
Dude, I'm afraid I'm gonna look over my shoulder on the like new car and see the guy just going silently shouting that he's coming for me. I'm like, dude.
Well, and you know that they do tend to go between cars while the cars are moving.
I know, dude.
They don't mind using that portal, that in between.
I know.
The portal to the upside. That's a portal. Yeah. You get off your car while the car's moving and you go in between cars. You don't know what's out there. Have you ever been out there?
Dude, I know. I have.
Have you ever been in between
cars?
Have
you never?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's a little fucked up.
Oh boy, it's bad.
You're just kind of like
you're in the outdoors.
Dude, you're like Indiana Jones, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
God damn it, short round.
Why did it have to be snakes?
I hate snakes.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to keep talking about this topic, but not like the way that he delivers cheesy lines so well. He was a true fucking action star, that guy, dude.
It's so funny you bring this
awesome.
up. I was bragging to Joe Harari at the stand last night about.
He's a big movie guy.
He is, and he's a huge Indiana Jones fan.
I didn't know that.
And I was bragging about the time that I met Harrison Ford.
Ah.
Because that was peak Indiana Jones. I was asking him questions about Indiana Jones. I'd moved out of sort of the Han Solo adoration,
Right, into Indy.
and was now on Indiana Jones, and I was 9 years old and asking him about Indiana Jones.
Was he like, of course you've met him, fucking Francis. Flips his phone and goes, I gotta go.
I think he. That's
I got a
good
light.
Joe Harari. No, he knew the story because I had told it on Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. And he had listened to that. So
Got it.
But yeah, man, that's my favorite story.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. There's an episode. See if we can find what episode that's on. If you guys are curious about listening to the Francis Indiana Jones story, it's very, very good.
Yeah, reading and having
Harrison Ford.
Yeah, meeting and having a long hangout with Harrison Ford when I was 9 years old.
And also the King of Jordan.
105.
Was there.
Yeah.
No, he shouldn't be.
So was
know
the
what I mean?
Queen.
Yeah, he's not on the. Those two aren't on the B list of attendees
No.
by any means.
No, it's a good one. Episode 105. Go back and listen to that shit.
Dude.
All right. Well, can I now? That's a nice segue. If you don't mind, I need to tell you about a celebrity encounter that I
Oh
had
yeah, sure.
via direct message.
Oh.
A well-known
And so
man.
let me preface: we've been trying to figure out. This person follows the podcast, and we were sort of like, "Is this a mistake? Like, did he just like?"
It was like a while ago too.
It was a while ago. It was just unclear what the fuck was going on, but now we're starting to understand a bit more.
Yeah. So he followed the pod a long time ago. We got all gassed up. I think. Yeah. So anyway, we're on his radar, I think.
Yeah.
So guys, it's John Mayer.
Yeah.
John Mayer, our good pal, one of the great singers, great musicians, true heartthrob, taste maker, iconoclast. I think is a word I would use. I don't even know if I know what that means. Can you
Man
make sure
crush recipient.
Yeah. He's the receiver of a lot of man crushes. Can you look up iconoclast? What do you got there, Ryan?
A destroyer of images used in religious worship.
That's
and
not it.
A person,
That's way off.
Oh, this
a
one-
person who attacks cherished beliefs or institutions.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think I can twist that to make
Not
it
quite.
work. That's not
Sorry,
right.
Maybe
John.
he breaks barriers. in
No.
terms of perception.
No, this is a purely negative word, and I thought it was like an extension of icon. I thought it was bigger than icon.
Breaking barriers. I mean, is he a barrier breaker? Kind of.
Broke the barriers of my heart. Made me want to be that kid on the subway, but in a more gentle way. All right, so John Mayer sees the clip that we had from the recent episode about the Delta sneaking
Lounge.
the food into the Starbucks cups in the Delta Lounge, and he DMs me. He goes, "The food in the Starbucks cups idea is incredible. A brilliant engineering move. Classic John Mayer." Classic John. We'll just call him John from now.
We will.
Or should we call him Mayer?
I don't know.
I think Mayer gets a little confusing.
Yeah.
We'll call him John.
Yo, Jay.
Hey, yeah.
Yo,
JM?
Jay.
Is he a JM?
He could be.
We'll find out.
We'll figure it out.
So that was Sunday at 2:13 a.m. Sounds like our old pal JM had a late night.
Sounds like he did.
Probably up late, painting or
Scr-
buying paintings.
Scrolling through your
You
reels.
think that's what he was doing?
Maybe.
I guess he was.
I mean, as
But
this
also-
conversation continues, I suspect he may have been doing that.
Damn, dude. How deep do you think? Do you think he knows I met Harrison Ford?
He might. He might.
We should, John, if you're listening, go listen to episode 105 for the story of 9-year-old me meeting Harrison Ford. Something tells me you were a fan too. I think you'll relate. Okay. So then I don't respond until 7 in the morning because we were on our way
Well played.
to, fortunately, I was asleep. And I think we can both say that if I had not been asleep, there's no chance I would have slept
Right.
because I would have been fretting over how to respond to John Mayer.
Yeah.
So I slept through it, which gave me a nice buffer of coolness, the cool buffer. And at 7 in the morning, we were on our way. We just woken up early because we were on our way
Oh,
up
yeah.
to pick up A brand new puppy. We picked her up. Ruby.
New puppy.
Rhubarb.
Dude, she's cute.
I'm calling her Rhubarb, and we're calling her Ruby for short. And we might even call her Rue for short.
Wow. Yo, Rue, you tripping.
That's exactly right. I said to Sierra, I was like, are we sure we really want to name our dog after a degenerate drug addict? Is that really what we're going for? Just creates mayhem and chaos and breaks lives everywhere she goes? She's like, good point. We're trying to raise a calm dog here.
That's great.
One that has self-control. We want a dog that we can leave its food out and it'll sort of feed itself what it needs. Anyway, so at 7 a.m. I wrote back, John, next time we're at the buffet in a Delta Sky Club, I'll cover for you. I wrote that.
At this point, too, Francis, I think this was the screenshot you sent us.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, I'm calling bullshit on this. You're like, the idea that John Mayer can relate to the Delta Lounge.
When was the last time he found himself in a Delta Sky Club anywhere? Anywhere. So, a lot of time goes by between that and his next response. In fact, I kind of assumed that might be the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Totally.
But my hands were full. We had picked up our puppy. I was in good spirits. I wasn't worried. But he then came back with, can't wait. And this is at 3:41 p.m. So from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Long time.
Got it.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah. He's probably in L.A. too, right?
Oh, good point.
Potentially.
That's what
Chris was going to say that.
I was going to say that before.
Oh.
That's why I messaged you at 2:40. It was maybe like
Oh.
11:30.
But listen, it's still 11:30 on a Sunday. That's no joke.
No, that was a Saturday.
Oh,
Because it's Saturday night.
okay. Gotcha.
So 11:30 Saturday night. Well, my God.
He was having a fun night.
I would have thought he might be, at a nice sushi place or something out in L.A.
He drank a bit of sake,
You think?
and he saw that clip, and he was like, "Oh man, that guy." Shut.
That was really delicious. That was delicious. Well done, Julio.
Thank you.
Oh my God, well done. If you're not watching the podcast, you're missing out on some. I would highly recommend that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Oops the Podcast, solely to enjoy the feast that Julio just put before us with that look, that act out. Well done.
Thank you.
So, John says at 3:41 p.m., which could be 1:41 p.m. his time, can't wait, period. I do worry you may have blown the lid, parentheses, pun, close parentheses, off this. Ooh, cheeky.
It's good.
It's cheeky. It's cheeky, but it's very concise, right? So we're not letting our legs stretch out too much. We're both playing it a little close to the chest.
Yeah.
Now, is it close to the chest or is it close to the vest?
I have absolutely no idea.
Have you heard both ways?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. I think we need to clear that up.
It could be both.
Now, we'll save that for a fact with Ryan. That sounds like a perfect fact with Ryan.
I would agree.
Okay, so that's at 3:41 p.m. Again, now we're driving home with Ruby in the car. So I benefit from being preoccupied. Where
All right, you're driving.
I probably saw this response, but I just realized it's okay. I don't need to respond right now. So then at 6:12, another 2.5 hours go by. I wrote back, and by the way, I spent a long time writing this.
You guys are fully flirting. at
I
this
know.
point, dude.
Well, this is where things really take a turn. This is where the conversation goes from like I'm talking to a huge celebrity who does not want to probably talk to me anymore after this to whoa. So I wrote back, ready? I spent this took me a long time to compose this message. So again, just to review, John, next time we're at the buffet in a Delta Sky Club, I'll cover for you. And then he says, can't wait. I do worry you may have blown the lid, parentheses pun, off this.
There you go, John.
I write back, Delta jacked their status thresholds to nearly unreachable markers. The genie's been out of the bottle. I can't be the only moron trying to earn back my annual credit card fee with rice pilaf.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
That took me a while.
That's good. It's good.
I wrote that on scratch pad. I wrote it on paper. I typed it in a Google Doc. I reworded it. I mean, there's a lot of humor in there, and there's also, I don't know.
You're also really testing him too, because
I
like
am.
you got like to what degree is a celebrity like we're thinking about points and shit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
so
sent
it's
us
a good,
I sent us in a completely different direction.
it's a good it's a good feeler.
It's almost as though I gave him a Rosetta Stone
right. Terminology.
and said, "Here, decipher me. Figure me out.
Right.
Are you on board for the challenge,
Uh-huh.
JM?" And boy, was he. At 10:32, so some 4.5 hours later,
PM.
he goes, "I'm going to try and carry." By the way, I think my message accomplished the goal of letting him know I'm no idle mind. He's not he can't trifle with me.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that was my goal. I wanted to let him know, one, I have a sense of humor, and two, I'm not an idiot.
Right. Which presumably he may have some degree of knowledge of since he is
From following us. But I don't know if he had looked at my content.
Agreed. Yeah, it's unclear if he like. I occasionally would like check our posts to see if he was liking them, and like I don't think he was.
Oh.
So I was sort of like, again, I like didn't believe it, but now again,
Yeah, he might be stingy with his likes.
yeah,
Guy like John,
I would agree.
can see that.
Gotta
You know,
be
he's
careful.
using his fingers less for likes and more for tasty licks
Is that a guitar?
on the
thing?
guitar. Which, by the way,
He's a phenom.
I have asked huge musician fans of the Grateful Dead,
Right.
for whom
fans of like jam bands.
yeah,
and
he
shit.
plays with Dead & Co. And I've asked them, people who, I played golf with a guy who every head cover on his bag is a Grateful Dead thing. He'll take mushroom hallucinogens before he plays around. We listen to Grateful Dead the whole time we're playing.
Oh, that's crazy.
And he goes to, he's been to like 100 shows or more
Right.
in his life. And I said, what do Deadheads think of John Mayer? And they're like, he's the real deal.
Oh yeah, dude. Every guitar person I've ever talked to is like, he's
He can-
extraordinary.
They go, he can play.
He can shred.
He
dude.
can play.
Sick.
And so it occurs to me that, he's not just this handsome face with a great voice, good singer-songwriter. Like, he's a true musician's musician who has garnered the respect of those who know, which, again, to me, elevates his mystique that much further.
Totally.
So he goes, "I'm going to try and carry on with this conversation as best I can, seeing as I fly private." As if we didn't know. You read, come on.
I
John.
wasn't sure because I was getting updates on this combo before he dropped that fucking zinger in there, and I was like, oh, maybe because like, bro, some of these guys do fly in normal flights. They like have a greeter and they go right on the plane. They're wearing a hat.
Yeah.
Like I was like, it's possible.
You think John Mayer, though? Man,
Dude, I know that like equally big people will fly commercial, and I bet in a pinch he might.
can you name someone who flies commercial that is of that caliber?
Like Michael Douglas,
Uh-huh.
or like
Dude,
know,
I mean,
maybe not exclusively. I'm sure he flies private too.
the thing is, when I think of John Mayer, I think of a musician who has sold and has always been a solo artist and has endured for I mean almost as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
When
I know.
did he start?
It's been a
when was
minute.
his rise to fame?
Like it might have been when we were in high school still.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember him dating Jennifer Aniston
Uh-huh.
at the height of her Friends fame.
Oh, really?
I think so. Maybe I'm missing that by a couple
No,
years.
it's certainly possible.
But I mean, dude, Your Body is a Wonderland. When the hell did that come out?
I want to guess 2005.
He's spanned multiple decades at this point.
Yeah.
And that last album that came out, or maybe a couple albums ago, where it was like, "Take a ride on the bitter jet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I wanna get around. Gonna get lost." That song. It's a great song.
Great song.
Great song. So yeah, seeing as I fly private. See, that's where when
Solid
he
line.
wrote that, I was like, oh,
It's funny that you called that too earlier.
I knew he did.
Yeah.
He's too big of a deal.
Yeah.
But I love that he said it. That's kind of like me being like, I
know.
went to Harvard.
It's very Francis. It's a very Francis joke.
Yeah.
Which makes me think he did it on purpose. Like
Yeah.
he knows his audience.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, John, I'm going to try to match wits here considering I went to Harvard. That's me joke. And then he goes, I don't know how much. I'm going to try and carry on with this conversation as best as I can, seeing as I fly private. I don't know how much a gallon of milk costs. I'm a real piece of shit. And then he sends immediately another message in all caps. And how about those lines at the gate?
It's pretty funny, dude.
It's great.
It's pretty good.
It's great. There's so much to unpack there.
It's very good.
There's so much to unpack there.
Well
he's,
played, John.
He's opening the door. Gallon of milk is hysterical because nobody's used that as the metric for like basic cost of living in 50 years.
It's a very funny one.
My mind immediately went to like, dude, you need to know how much the cost of a gallon of oat milk costs. And they don't even come in gallons. So you're going to need a half gallon of oat milk. You need to figure out what the cost of that is. I'm a real piece of shit. And how about those lines at the gate? Hysterical. Very Larry David
Very
of
funny.
him, in
Very
a way.
funny.
And so that was at 10:32. And then at midnight, I was still up because we were putting Ruby to bed, which was a battle. I wrote back, ha, 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 about time you come clean, you, parentheses, talented, entirely deserving, close parentheses, motherfucker. Enjoy those sashimi platters and cold-pressed juices. Talk soon, man.
Nice, dude.
And then he immediately responded, fast friends, period.
Wow.
Wait, what? I didn't know that.
Wow. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. And you guys follow each other now, right?
And then he followed me.
Oh my God, dude.
How good is that?
That's crazy. Dude, yeah, that's wild.
I almost did. I think I didn't send it to you guys because after that, I was like, oh, this isn't really funny anymore. Now I'm just bragging. Now I'm just bragging.
Yeah, you really like, dude, wow, that couldn't have gone any better, bro.
I mean, I was very selective about what I chose to say.
So are you intending to like try to take this to the next level?
We're going to have to see.
Are you going to push for a hangout?
The last time I did that with cousin Greg, I think I pressed too soon
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
learned my lesson.
Yeah.
Nicholas Braun, I think I pressed too soon for the hang. I invited him to a dinner party that we were having at our home on like day one of us messaging. And he was like, I'm in Norway or Stockholm or something like that. And I learned my lesson there. So with John, I'm going to have to play it cool. Now, I do benefit where I think he's actually pals with Roan too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Roan went on a bachelor party with him.
Oh, what?
They were both on a bachelor party
Random.
together.
That's cool.
And so I talked to Roan and
Yeah, I'm learning that like the Barstool people are like randomly friends with a lot of celebrities.
yeah.
Which is kind of cool. Like even like Donnie and Ocho Cinco tweeting at each
Right?
other right now. I'm
I
like,
saw that.
What's going on?
That was cool.
That was sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really sick. Dude.
So we'll see, man. You know, I think the next step, I've been thinking a lot about how I want to play it, and I think the next step might be potentially when he comes to. I was checking his tour schedule. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was thinking I should ask if my wife and I could come to a show and maybe say hi, because by letting him know that I'm married, it makes me seem like I have my shit together. And I'm not like coming to the show alone. You know what I mean?
I don't necessarily know if that's like a universal perception.
You think he wants a guy friend?
I don't know. He may not care about your marital status.
I just feel like maybe
I feel like you would think that.
maybe it seems like I'm a little less.
But dude, am I wrong about this? I feel like if the roles were reversed and someone said that to you, you would.
I would
this
feel
way.
safer.
Right.
I would feel more like, oh yeah, this person is I don't know, has their shit together. Which isn't to say that someone who's not married doesn't have their shit together. It's just that they're less, by coming as a couple, you know, you're less likely to get some drooling fan.
Which is funny. I remember when Francis and I started doing the pod initially, I remember you mentioning multiple times that you liked that I was in a serious relationship.
Yeah.
So this is like some version of that,
Yeah.
which also is like, so Hill Dog, thanks. Like, thanks for
right.
for starting me on this journey.
I mean, I think it's really just coming with another person. If hey, could me and my buddy come to a show?
Right. Buddy,
it's fine too.
I don't vouch for that guy. How many movie plots start with "I don't vouch for that guy"?
Yeah, yeah.
Or it could end to your wife, on the other hand.
Wife, girlfriend. If you're coming with another person, it means like you have your act together enough to either warrant friends in life or a relationship, and either one of which is an endorsement
You're right.
of your sanity. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I do think, not to sound really traditional, but a wife does, at least in my mind, like she's committed her life to you. What an endorsement.
Yeah, right.
That I can allow this person backstage at my concert in front of tens of thousands of people.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we'll see. That's a long way.
He like hangs around the comedy scene a little bit.
He does.
I've never like encountered him, but I know he's at the Comedy Cellar.
Well, he, tours with Chappelle.
Yeah.
Which is just yet another gigantic
his
feather
face
in
is
his
on the wall
cap.
of the Comedy Cellar. Oh. He has a picture down there somewhere, dude. Yeah, it's crazy.
I've never seen them do it, but Bill Burr talked about it on his podcast where he said that he went to see John Mayer and Chappelle and the way that they do it. And I guess what they do is, I think Mayer opens for him with music, which is fucking incredible.
That's sick.
And then Chappelle comes out and performs for an hour more. And then Mayer comes back out with his guitar, and the two of them riff together.
Wow.
And Mayer is so talented with his guitar that he plays it in such a way as to score the jokes of Chappelle.
Wow.
And makes funky sounds.
That's fun.
Almost like the way I understood it, he kind of does like if Chappelle does a joke that has a voice in it or something, he can like almost mimic the voice with his guitar.
Finger parrot.
I have no idea what that would be like, but I'd be very keen to see it.
It makes me think about like the next step of comedy, like some of the really big acts like do a lot of like random shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what this Adam Sandler tour format was?
Yeah, no.
Dude, it's crazy. So like there was 4 guys who would go on before, I think, 3 or 4, and they would do 15 each. And then he goes up and does 2 hours.
Oh my God.
And like the end of that is they all do karaoke together, which is like kind of fucking fun.
Cool.
But I'm like, oh, that's sick. That must have been a fun time.
Yeah.
But that's like, dude, fun fact. I don't know if you guys know this. I once helped produce a commercial with John Mayer that I was also in.
What?
So I also have John Mayer experience.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it
didn't
lead to a budding friendship. I mean, if it was a competition, you have won it by quite some bit.
What was that commercial for?
Bud Light.
Wow.
We did a prank, and it was like this prank where, and it's perfect for John Mayer because basically you're at the bar with your friend, and a bunch of people come and try to take your friend's seat while they're in the bathroom, and they want to see how much of like a homie you are. So it'll be a tempting person each time. So if you're a guy, like a beautiful woman comes to sit in the seat, and you're like, oh, sorry, my friend's sitting there. And then the final step of the challenge is that John Mayer tries to take the seat. And basically, so it was fun.
Wow.
But
that is good.
And he was clever, and I felt like it would have been an insane thing to not have mentioned that.
No,
oh
my God, I'm so glad you did.
It's the least exciting part of this John Mayer discussion.
Well, it does speak to, again, would he remember you?
Probably not.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Were
Were
you in the bar seat next to him?
No, I was the bartender, but I also I cast it. I was in the commercial, but I also they didn't use much of me. I am in the final cut, which was nice because I made a little more money. But I also got like behind the scenes pay on that one.
This is amazing.
One of my boys, dude, my boy.
Bud Light commercials.
Shout out to Andrew Lane. The people who shot my prank show have like looked out for me and like included me in shit when they could. So I've done a lot of like random prank stuff because they like shoot all the pranks. TV Boy is the company.
Amazing.
But anyway, yeah. So like, I don't think he'd remember me, dude. I'm not a first time memorable guy all the time, dude.
Oh, that's way too hard on yourself for 9 in the morning.
I can be, but I don't like. impose myself necessarily right
but
away.
I think that's also one of your greatest qualities and what endears you to so many people.
But I'm a slow burn, dude. Like I'm like a parasite that like slowly takes over.
Oh my God! Oh, these are such negative images.
No, but in a good way.
You're
I make my mark slowly.
a gathering flame,
Gathering for
starting with a spark that becomes that comforting glow in a dark cave of life.
That's a nice way to.
You are
a nice way to
you are
put it.
hearth and home.
That's nice, man.
Yeah,
Thank
come
you.
on.
No,
Jeez.
I'm not, dude. I'm not dogging myself. But like, whatever, dude. Like this situation is a very remarkable, fun situation. I've gotten way more excited at far less interesting celebrity DM encounters.
Yeah.
And me like replying to a rapper's thing and them hearting it. I'll talk about it for like 3 months, dude.
As we must.
As we
must.
must. So,
Now,
gotta enjoy these little wins.
with John, our pal John, potentially listening to the podcast, I don't know. Dare we go so far as to assume
I
that?
deem it unlikely.
Yeah, he's got too much to do.
But listen, dude, I bet if he caught wind of this, he would probably listen.
And then you have to ask yourself, have I hurt myself
So this is what I think.
in analyzing this? And if I have, you know what? It was worth it.
Dude, listen.
This was too fun.
You know what would be hurting yourself? Sending him the link to the pod with time cards.
Yeah.
I've broken down our conversation. Like, that would be weird.
What about a Resi notification for a dinner I'd booked for us? Does this time work for you?
Dinner for two.
7:30. Everything else was booked, so we're going to a chain.
My treat.
But they didn't start as a chain. They just became so successful that they franchised.
You should schedule a show the same weekend as one of his shows in the same city. And then you
yeah.
can make it seem like
Yeah.
Francis Ellis
Us.
pulled up.
Little home and home.
Here
You
in
come to mine, I'll come to yours. There's no backstage, but you know what? I'll say hi to you in the hallway.
Is there anything worse, by the way, when there's no green room at a venue you're performing
Yeah,
at?
not fun. Not fun.
Not fun at all.
So that's John Mayer.
Dude, phenomenal.
I'm glad we spent, a good half hour on that, as
I
we
think that was
often
good.
do,
It needed to be done.
as we are wont to do.
Lots to unpack. Get him in the Delta Lounge, man.
I know.
You know?
I know. I thought about that. I thought about how can I get him onto my turf?
I think about this sometime. Anytime where it can be difficult, dude. And I can imagine it being lonely for some of these people when they get really famous. Even like people I know who've like gotten really famous. Sometimes when I catch up with them, I just like don't know what to say. I don't know to be like, I know what they've been up to, but it's weird to be like, hey, so what's up with this? What's up with that?
Mhm.
I sort of want to like let them offer it.
Yeah.
But I also want to like offer my own stuff. But I'm like, my stuff must sound fucking stupid. Like my stupid stuff. You know what I mean? But that's so a true friend, like maybe that wouldn't be the case. But like, this is maybe my true friend, but like it's a different dynamic now. Like their life is so different from mine
Yeah.
that like, what do we relate on? Of course we relate. We reminisce.
Mm-hmm.
We, they'll show that they still care. Oh, what's going on with this?
Right.
Oh, haha, that guy? Ha ha ha.
Dude,
Let's watch something.
I'm with you, man. I know exactly it's so hard.
Overthinking it is a mistake, but it's hard not to.
It's hard not to.
Like you can't mind fuck yourself, but like you don't want it to turn into this, hey dude, I watched da-da-da, you've come so far.
Right.
You don't want to just stick your head up their fucking ass either.
Right.
But you also don't want to like downplay their stuff. You know what I mean? Like, dude, there's been times where friends have come to my shows and like they haven't seen what my new shit, like what my deal is now, i.e. like people coming to see me and excited to meet me. You know what I mean? Like, what a fun thing. But this is so nice. What a fun thing. And like, sometimes people have the instinct to cut you down. Be like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of somebody like giving you a pat on the back. And it's like, all right, don't do that. I don't think I'm better than you, dude. I'm sorry that like you're affected by this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, get used to it, dude.
Wow. Nice.
Not to be a dick,
Nice.
but like, so I try to remember that when it's reversed. Cause of course it's more like I experience that the other way around probably more often
Yeah.
along my journey.
Mm-hmm. You're saying you've been.
I've been around the guy getting the fucking praise.
Well, that's where I think the dynamic is strange. Is when a friend of yours becomes super famous,
right.
or
But
just famous.
so right. And I think, but it's good to experience it the other way around first so that you understand the sort of like emotional roller coaster it can put you through.
Right.
You know, because like you may not be jealous, but like it's impossible to not be like, man, like what if that was me? And like it doesn't have to be a negative feeling, but it does require some sort of inner dialogue.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, I see people who are in the same circle as like friends who've gotten big, and I see it sometimes affect them in a way where it makes them feel bad.
Interesting.
And you got to fight against that. Don't let that happen.
Wow, that's interesting.
You know?
Yeah. That's interesting. I hadn't really thought of it like that. I think for me, I mean, I have experienced that people cutting you down thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
You know, I have had that. I've had that, but it's
okay. He's still a loser though.
it's very hard. It's very hard. I think if you've been friends with someone like us and you've watched them do open mics and you've come to their bringer shows when they were begging you to show up so that we could perform, you know, like I had to beg my friends, hey, can you come to this show so that I can do 5 minutes?
Totally.
And they've seen me be terrible and just nobody gives a shit. Like probably thinking, when is he ever gonna
make it or whatever?
You know, they go
It's
from
less likely to be that person though. The
no,
person
I know.
who supported you like has typically had the good attitude about it.
That's true.
You know, the person who came to the shows early.
Once you start actually, if you do start to get fans and stuff like that, for them to know how bad you once were or whatever, and now to see this is like, I'm sure it's a hard thing to watch someone be asked for their photo. You know what I mean?
It's hard.
Meaning, like, I understand why some of my friends might see that happen to me, and some will be thrilled and happy for me, but then others will be like, it's hard to watch that and not think that it's affecting me, and it certainly does.
What do you mean? Like
I've been around my friends after a show where fans of mine came to the show, where fans of mine asked me for pictures like one after another, while my friends were like waiting, or God forbid, the fan asked them to take the photo.
Right.
And I can imagine that as a friend of mine, being in that position would be a little bit like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh, right.
Why are you pretending like you're big time all of a sudden? I know who you are.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that is such a wrong thing to. But you're right. That I'm sure people.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it's hard to look at me and not think that I'm somehow facilitating this meet and greet, this like praise me thing.
Yeah. No. There's no shot. No. I don't think anybody could possibly think that. Like they maybe think some related version of that, but like how like they watched this unfold. Did you like tell the people, hey, when my friends come over, come ask me for a photo. Here's $20.
I think it's more like, yo, we showed up to watch you. We're your friends, and we were all going to go get a drink, and now you're delaying us half an hour to like wade through a sea of fans because you don't feel whole enough from the applause you received.
That is so wrong. There's no way they're thinking that. It's your fucking job, dude. You have to. Like,
no, I know.
You don't have to.
I guess I'm just sort of thinking about it.
I think that the healthiest way for the conversation after that to go is like you can't just pretend that isn't crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's sick. Like if I had no idea that a friend of mine had it like that, and I saw that happen, I'd be like, dude, you have fans. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And then they should be like, yeah, dude, it's sick. It's crazy, right?
Have you ever been walking with a friend and someone stops you and says hi?
Yeah.
Can I have a picture?
Yeah.
The question that I so often get after is, how often does that happen to you?
Oh yeah.
I get that all the time.
That's the question that I get too.
I get that all the time, and my answer is, it depends on where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went to the Standard Beer Garden on Saturday for a buddy's birthday, and first of all, awesome. That place is awesome.
Yeah, that place is rips, dude.
It's fucking great, especially when it's freezing out. Because it's cozy.
Yeah.
It's a proper beer garden vibe.
It's
There's
solid.
Picnic tables, ping pong tables.
Solid spot.
You get steins of beer. Everyone's sloshing it around. Meat packing district right on the river.
Yeah.
Wind ripping through the streets.
Right near the old High Line.
Yeah. And you got to walk a long way from the subway. So, by the time you get in there, your cheeks are rosy and you're excited. And they give you tickets to get your beers.
Yeah, it's a good.
Good vibe. Soft pretzels,
Mm-hmm.
all the stuff.
With all the Bavarian treats.
Yeah. So, of course, in there on a Saturday afternoon in the winter, that is a group of people frequenting that place, many of whom it's 20 to 30-year-old dudes.
Yeah.
Who chances are a few of them know who I am, and they're subtly coming up and being like, hey, I like your work, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice.
Yeah.
But I'm with my friends, and so my friends are watching that, and then they're like, how often does this happen to you? I'm like, well, here, it's going to happen.
Yeah, but like, okay.
But if we were in the MoMA next door, I'm not sure that it would happen very often.
But like, right. There's no need to like downplay it.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Well, it's not my birthday.
Is it someone else's birthday?
Yeah. We were there for a friend's birthday.
Dude, it doesn't matter.
I shouldn't be the center of attention.
It doesn't matter.
there.
You're not. Like,
if it's your birthday and a friend of yours
There's
that you've
nothing you can do
invited
about
is
it.
getting fucking asked for pictures and shit.
We're not teenage girls, dude. It's okay. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, you're there, aren't you? If anything, it's even more of a testament to your commitment to the friendship and you not thinking you're better than people, because that's like you're getting bothered in public, yet you're still willing to go.
Yeah, but the fact that I, didn't wear a hat.
Bro, get out of here.
I could have worn a hat.
Get out of here now.
John Mulaney wears a hat.
He's also John Mulaney. No offense.
No, I know. I saw him once
In disguise.
and I've seen him and I've seen Matt Damon almost in disguise.
Oh, like a hat.
Low
like a
hat, sunglasses, even though it wasn't that bright out.
Yeah.
I saw John Mulaney walking into Whole Foods with a hat on. And I was like, nice try, motherfucker. I know who you are. Go get your gourds. Go pick up your table settings, your acne-riddled gourds.
No, but dude, I like, yeah, no, it's definitely, that is the same exact question that I get always.
Where do you think the line is where you need to start wearing hats?
Probably far away for me.
It's far away.
Like, dude, I mean, you've since I've known you, you've been like pretty recognizable in public.
Well, I have red hair.
Still, but like that doesn't matter.
I have red hair and I'm tall and I don't look like a lot of people.
You have a thing, dude. It's okay. Whatever that thing may be, it's a thing plus just like general exposure. Thing plus exposure and cultivating your looks important, dude. It's part of
No,
this.
I know. I mean, I just think that I benefit in a way where if people see me, there's no, is that Francis? That's Francis.
Yeah.
Because I have red hair.
But I don't think.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Still.
this all feels a little
No,
self-congratulating. I don't know.
It's good, dude. I think people forget, bro, like these sort of interactive sort of mediums too, like even just the stuff you were doing at Barstool before and now, plus the pod, like these are things that like that open themselves up to like people knowing you on like a micro scale.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like maybe it's even closer to like as far as Barstool is concerned, I'm macro scale. But you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a way to have like a small group of engaged people in the mix. And like that just can't, people I still think undervalue that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like everybody asked me, they're like, oh wow, like, so the Netflix thing, like, did that push the needle for you? Like, did that like make your tickets better? And I'm like, dude, no. Like, oops, the podcast is the thing that makes my tickets better.
Yeah.
That is by far the number one thing that makes me do anything.
Yeah.
Of anything that I've done.
I agree with that.
And people just assume that other stuff makes a bigger difference, but no, this is a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. We appreciate everyone so much for being the most important fans in our lives and friends and listeners. It truly is more valuable than any other medium I've connected with people on, if that makes sense.
Dude, it's sick.
Yeah. Very
Fuck,
true.
Fuck yeah.
Cool.
Hey, stop looking at Ryan's notes.
I had never done, and he says, cut my cough, which is amazing. I didn't know you guys did that.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I didn't. It's very surgical of you guys.
Don't worry what goes on behind the scenes, pal.
All right, start us over.
I didn't know you guys were even doing that. Thank you.
Yeah, we're not doing nothing over here.
That's
Also, you guys wouldn't know this. Sometimes me and Ryan like write to each other and we're just laughing at each other.
that's funny.
Now I'm self-conscious. You
These
believe this fucking
guys.
dick?
Actually, you want to know what's funny? Last time when we were talking to Romeo, you guys were like so happy to like be there. You were like so giddy. I was like, look at them. I was like, look how cute they are. They're they're just
I
good
think-
boys.
Parents.
I
Hot
think
parents.
I think we both realized that was the funny angle, and we probably
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
I
You were like-
subconscious. I knew we would telepathically
That's
connect
funny.
on that.
And when you would like ask him a good question, you'd be like, "Oh, that was good. That was
Yeah,
good."
yeah. It's funny. It's funny
Agreed.
for us to geek out over a
Us
fucking
sitting close to each other, geeking, dude, it's pretty funny.
bachelorette.
We're over here
star.
like,
Yeah.
oops, the goddamn podcast.
Yeah, that's the pod. We got some facts with Ryan. Sure do. Facts with Ryan. Facts with Ryan. Was he lying or was she lying? Facts with Ryan.
Okay. So, scat. Where we all started today. So, just the definition in vocal jazz, scat is singing vocal improvisation with wordless vocables, nonsense syllables, or without words at all. All right, continuing on. John is 6'3".
Oh, damn.
I
John
bet you like
Mayer?
that.
Yeah,
It's my height. It's the same size that I am.
power couple.
Wow, we are friends.
He follows 1,785 people on Instagram, so just that's pretty special too.
That's not too many. I bet a lot of those people are famous.
2 of those are us.
Wow,
You and us. Yeah.
Pretty good.
amazing.
Pretty good.
All right, close to the vest and close to the chest, pretty synonymous with each other. Same definition, same meaning. Dug a little deeper. Close to the chest came first, about 200 years prior to vest.
Pre-vests existing.
Yeah, in
sense.
the 1800s.
I wonder if the close to the vest came along when vests became popular.
Or with guns.
Yeah, right. I think I like close to the chest better. Makes more sense to me. But anyway,
Gallon of oat milk. So they don't sell. You can't buy a gallon of oat milk online, but using proportionality. I was able to see that an 86-ounce bottle of oat milk is $7.89. So that would mean that a gallon of oat milk would be around $11.74.
Christ.
geez, that's an expensive.
Christ.
I wouldn't have thought that. What is it? You said 84 ounces?
That's a lot
86
of jack.
ounces is $7.89.
That's a standard sort of carton of Oatly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
The
don't.
big-
I've
the big
never.
carton.
I buy them for $6 at Whole Foods.
Wow. It's pretty good.
So that's a high price point for that.
Okay. And then the standard beer garden has a kids menu and they serve chocolate chip cookies.
Very nice.
Good fact.
man. Very
Good
nice.
fact.
What do you got?
Let's see here. Well, I'm adding more and more shows. You guys know me. We're gonna have it soon. There's some of them are up on my website, francisellis.com, but we're gonna do the big announcement of this tour for 2023. Going to all sorts of places: San Francisco, Atlanta, Nashville, Chicago, Minneapolis, Dallas, Austin, so on and so forth. Chicago, I already said that, and Philadelphia. And a lot of you have been asking about Philly. That's going to be up soon. Just stay tuned. Tickets
Sick.
are going to go fast.
Awesome.
What about you?
I'm in St. Petersburg, Florida, baby. January 20th. Back in the mix. 2 shows. Should be pretty good. Brian F. Schultz, still, when you gave me that ride to the airport from, where were we? Fort Myers. You still have career tickets in case you'd like to exercise them
Awesome.
to everything I ever do.
Nice.
And I have some other cities coming up too, but January 20th, come out to that.
Hell yeah.
Not Julio.com.
That's right. Okay. Thanks, guys. Oops Podcast. We'll see you soon.